The football of the future, a robot that can play football as well as humans, and this 57-year-old Japanese player who is still a professional footballer. Here are some incredible records and things you didn't know about football. For example, the football club with the longest name in the world, Club Peltrot Lanfer... Okay, I'll spare you the rest.
Llanfair, Pwllgwyngyll, Goger, Chwyrn Drobwll, Llantysilio, Go.
They play in the 5th Welsh League, and since mid-2024, they have a new sponsor, La Liga, the Spanish league. I mean, not bad. But how about this goalkeeper who is unbeatable? The RoboKeeper, developed in Germany, has 2 high-speed cameras that take around 90 pictures per second. So it can predict exactly where the ball is going, and even stop shots from Neymar, Griezmann and Messi. Although only the first shot from Messi. And we're just at the beginning. The crazy football of the future is yet to come. But first, let's talk about Kazuyoshi Miura, the oldest professional football player currently. He's still active at 57 years old. Miura is an absolute legend in Japan. He went to Brazil at 15 to become a football professional there and actually managed to get signed by Santos 4 years later. In 1994, he briefly went to Genoa, where he became the first Japanese player in Italy's Serie A. But a year later, he went back to Japan. He played for the Japanese national team and has been under contract with Yokohama FC since 2005. And currently, he's on loan to Atletico Susaka, a 4th division club. And hey, check out this tackle. Insane. And hey, what does every manga hero in Japan have? A signature move. And so does Miura, the Katsu dance. Now, onto a game where Bale almost achieved everything in just one match. He scored a goal.
Welshman's favourite, and indeed he strikes it and scores!
He provided an assist.
Still going Gareth Bale. Lennon on the far post.
He scored an own goal.
Towards goal and in!
And he got a yellow card. All that was missing was a red card, really. Let's stay in the Premier League. Did you know that whenever Jack Wilshere scored a goal, he almost always won Goal of the Year?
Wilshere, Zola, Giroud gets it back through Wilshere, onside!
An amazing goal, and not his only one.
No, nothing the play can do. Right, the goal!
He won Goal of the Year twice, but only scored a total of 8 goals, meaning 25% of all his goals are absolute dream goals. Not a bad quota, right? But that's just child's play. How about this game, where there were 149 own goals? Yeah, you heard that right. 149 own goals. In 2002, AS Adema was unhappy with a referee decision in the previous match and decided to protest in their own unique way with 149 own goals. Unfortunately, there's no footage of it, but the match report says the opponent was quite confused by the action. Someone who scores a lot of goals is also Cristiano Ronaldo, especially in the Champions League. But this info will surprise you. Ronaldo didn't score in his first 26 Champions League matches until this moment in 2007 against Roma.
What's going to happen? Still Ronaldo!
Speaking of Ronaldo, what's one of his unfulfilled wishes? To be on the field during a match with his son, maybe even for Portugal. In 1996, the Good Johansson family almost achieved that. Father Arno, who was 34 at the time, was substituted for his son Eidur, who was 17 back then. Unfortunately, the son broke his ankle a few days later, so they never got to play together. Nonetheless, Eidur didn't have a bad career. He won the Champions League with Barca and scored beautiful goals for Chelsea. Now, to a question I've been asking myself a lot lately. Why do footballers wear these bras? These vests are equipped with a small GPS device, and this device helps coaches know exactly how fast a player is running, how much he runs, and how often he sprints. So the coach can check everything from the sidelines and make tactical decisions. Crazy, right? And speaking of cool inventions in football, how about, no, not this ball, but the lightest football boots in the world, the Adidas Adizero 99 gram, weighing only 99 grams per shoe. That's as much as a chocolate bar. And when you shine a light on them, you can practically see through the shoe. There are only 299 pairs in total, probably because they're not really practical. They supposedly hurt quite a bit when someone steps on your feet, and this YouTuber said it hurts quite a lot when shooting.
Performed pretty well, although every shot was painful.
Are you ready to see the first football match ever on TV? Yeah, today it's pretty normal to watch a game on TV, but in 1937, when Arsenal's friendly match was broadcasted, people were freaking out. Mascherano is a legend in Argentina, but here's the crazy thing. As a youth player, he made his debut for the national team before he made his debut in the first team of his club River Plate. Yes, he became a national player before he played a second for the first team. Crazy. I mean, he must have been quite good then. And by the way, a team that Mascherano played for was Barcelona. And there's one team that always wins when it plays against Barcelona. Dundee United. Yeah, I know. You might have expected something else, but really, they played each other 4 times and Dundee won 4 times. Alright, the next 5 records I'll go through quickly. The one and only Ballon d'Or winner from Africa, George Weah in 1995. An English manager has never won the Premier League. The league has existed like this since 1992, and no, Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't English, he was Scottish. A foreign coach has never won the World Cup, and no joke, Deschamps, Jogi Löw, Vicente Del Bosque, they were always managers from the same country. So maybe hiring Tuchel for England isn't such a good idea. The first club to collect over 100 million followers across all their social media channels, Real Madrid. I mean, with their recent success, they've done pretty good marketing for themselves. But Real Madrid isn't the club with the most members. That's actually Bayern Munich, with around 360,000 members. Not bad. And now for one of the craziest videos ever, because when the 2014 World Cup was opened, some astronauts celebrated in a very special way. They played football in space, and what a save! Now to a crazy stat from the Premier League. Van Nistelrooy was an incredible striker in his time and scored a total of 150 goals for Manchester United. But are you noticing anything about his goals?
Oh my goodness!
They were all from inside the penalty area. Only one of his 150 goals was from outside the box.
Still going, and that will seal it.
Just as astonishing as this record, defender Philipp Lahm didn't commit a single foul for an entire year, and that even though he was a defender.
Gut gemacht von Lahm. Du bist der zuverlässiger.
Incredible. But even crazier is this record. Gary Lineker, one of the best strikers of the 80s, received neither a red or a yellow card in his career. Never. In 654 games. And hey, those were very different times back then. Okay, now to a truly absurd scene. The player was gone, and then he was back? Magic? No, it has to do with some truly crazy technology. The advertising you see on TV is different from what a viewer in another country sees. The same scene, but 4 different ads. Crazy, right? This way, clubs and football leagues can make more money because they can recruit different sponsors for each country. And the technology usually works flawlessly. Only sometimes you get these glitches. And now to an unbelievable statistic. Did you know that since 1982, at least one Bayern Munich player has been on the field with his country in every World Cup final? No joke, for almost 43 years there has always been a Bayern professional present. That speaks well for the club, doesn't it? And while we're talking about the World Cup, this record from the 2010 World Cup is really funny. Back then there was only one team that went undefeated in the tournament. And no, it wasn't the champion Spain. They lost their first group match against Switzerland. It was football giant New Zealand. Yeah, no joke. 3 draws, which wasn't enough to advance past the group stage. Also incredible is this record. Oleg Salenko scored a total of 5 goals in 1 World Cup game. Still unbeaten to this day. And we're almost at the ball with the holes. But first, check out this picture. The goalkeeper who can't see anything. And the funny thing is, the referee had stopped the game because of poor visibility, but goalkeeper Sam Batram didn't hear the whistle, and since he couldn't see, didn't realize the players had gone to the locker room. He stood on the field for another 15 minutes because he thought the game wasn't over. And now to another incredible world record, the youngest player in World Cup history. And many think it's Pelé who won the World Cup at 17, but the youngest ever was Norman Whiteside, who played for Northern Ireland in 1982. He was 17 years and 41 days old. Hey, what did you guys do during the summer holidays? Nah, just chilled. And you, Norman? Yeah, I was in Spain briefly and played in the World Cup. Okay, this info now is insane. I mean, we've already talked about how thanks to these vests, there's more and more data about football players. And one of the best playmakers in midfield,
Got Haaland there, he'll go it alone!
Kevin De Bruyne. But before he extended his contract in 2021, he did something very special. He hired a company to analyze his data precisely. And the result? De Bruyne is one of the best in the Premier League when it comes to creating chances. And he took that data to City and said, hey, look how good I am. And hey, it paid off. He got a new 5-year contract with a solid pay raise. That's still a bit out of reach for this, should I say player? Robot Artemis is supposed to be the perfect football player of the future. Researchers say that by 2050 the robot will be so good that a robot team could beat the 2050 World Cup champion. Well, I don't know, we'll see. At the moment, we're still a bit far from that. At least it's funny to watch. I mean, this robot doesn't even realize the other one is scoring a goal. We are getting closer to the top 3. So here are a few records in a fast order. The oldest football club in the world, Sheffield FC from England, founded in 1857. The first player bought for over $1 million, Italian Giuseppe Savoldi, when he moved from Bologna to Napoli in 1975. The largest football stadium in the world, the Rungrado 1st of May Stadium in North Korea. It holds 114,000 fans. North Korea, a football superpower. The manager who coached a professional club the longest, Guy Roux. He was Auxerre's manager for 43 years and 364 days. That's insane. The team with the most championship titles, Linfield FC from Northern Ireland, with a total of 56 championships. The club with the most consecutive championships, Skonto Riga from Latvia, 14 times in a row between 1991 and 2004. And the team with the longest home unbeaten run, Porto. They didn't lose a single home game between 2008 and 2012. They were unbeaten for 1,974 days. Whew, now that's a stat. But now, our top 3. And here it's all about crazy technology in football. For example, this net here for goalkeepers that you place in front of the goal, it deflects the ball unpredictably. Or this ball, which isn't round and therefore also behaves unpredictably. All this is supposed to help goalkeepers improve their reflexes. And maybe you've already seen pictures of, for example, Hoffenheim's goalkeeper Baumann wearing these glasses. And no, they're not sunglasses, they limit his field of vision and, you guessed it, help him improve his reflexes. I love those crazy inventions. And even the footballs themselves are becoming more intelligent, or so Adidas and co are saying. Inside is a chip that helps referees determine if the ball crossed the line or if the ball was touched. I mean, we all remember the Euro and this animation. Here we can see the player touched the ball with his hand. But now, on to the football with holes. It looks strange and it was first used in basketball, where the official manufacturer of NBA balls, Wilson, introduced this basketball.
The bounce is almost identical. That's the impressive part.
It was a huge hype on YouTube, and that's why some people started 3D printing a football with holes. And hey, it worked quite well. But because of its shape, you can't shoot the ball as hard as normal balls. So we'll probably stick with the original. But hey, who knows what Adidas and others will come up with in the upcoming years. Maybe this will actually be the ball of the future. And if you want to know which accessories are banned in football, like these football boots, then watch this video.